are back in record time with episode 16. Today we have a lobby filled with professional Grief players. Might have to bring the top 10 Griefers stamp out of retirement for this game. The way his aim just perfectly snaps on the people as they jump. Incredible skill on display. These boys are guarding quick revive like they're playing against a Gauntus. Hey Sketty, you think DLN is using aim lock? Yeah, but who cares? He can't hit shit even with it. The Grief gods were so embarrassed at this spraying, they didn't even give him a red screen. Fuck it, just put him on the ground. End this. He doesn't have a very steady hand with a knife. Imagine this guy performing surgery. He'd turn a couple of conjoined twins into a jigsaw puzzle. At least we know he's playing legit. Hopefully everyone else is too. The tricky shot was denied a bank loan. Must get his internet via carrier pigeon. You know it's bad when they measure your internet speed in miles per hour. Well, he certainly knows how to make an entrance. Hedge Fund Haiti with 3 consecutive Griefs in the bank. They went from guarding a perk machine from a Gauntus to actually guarding a Gauntus himself. He might want to get that yellow skin checked out. Could be jaundice. Game's getting a little glitchy, still better than Vanguard. They didn't even bother to put in a Pack-a-Punch camo. Really? He tries every move in the world, and yet he dies? Oh well, he'll get him next time. Or maybe not. He got spawn trapped in a game of Grief? That's rough. Worse yet, it was a walker. DLN lunges into another player. Are you serious? He door blocks a guy, and then somehow manages to circle back around and get door blocked by the guy that he just blocked. That's kind of impressive. So close to sweet revenge. Wall Street Haiti with another bank Grief on tricky shot. He must be desperate for a loan or some shit. He's been rejected 3 times in there. And DLN lunges again. Custom Zombs got sliced in half like a skydiver landing on top of the Eiffel Tower. There's Sketty. I was worried next time we saw him would be on a milk carton. Bank manager Haiti sends tricky shots to the back of the line. This guy knife lunges like he's on PS3. Unfortunately, this is on Xbox, where you can't lunge into another player. Well, we know he's not using aim lock. He aims like he's playing Battlefield 2042. He got him again. Haiti has Tricky Shot wanting to go back to Fortnite. DLN better head to the Church of Tricky Shot and say 5 Hail Marys after that bullshit. Hedge fund Haiti about to get banned from Wall Street bets for this choke job. Pi putting that quick revive to good use. Like they say, always come prepared. Not me, I'm the opposite. I'm always prepared to come. What a fucking clothesline. That had to hurt more than getting fingered by Freddy Krueger. Imagine Freddy trying to give you a reassuring pat on the back and he just fucking severs your spinal cord. He's disrespecting the zombies throwing grenades at him. They won't forget that. Wait, what just happened here? Enroll this guy into the missile defense program because apparently he can intercept stuff in midair before he even sees it. The guy just spent a full minute making escapes, only to die to a fucking crawler. After that embarrassment, he should be called Public Zoms. To be fair, that's kinda deserved. His aim looks about as natural as an Instagram model's ass. Haiti ran him over like it's Tiananmen Square. DLN charged at those zombies as if they said Tricky Shot isn't the best griefer. He's not gonna stand for that. I like how he looks back at DLN after all the aim lock spraying, like enough of this shit, and puts him down immediately with a pistol. I try to tell you, they wouldn't like grenades being thrown at him. The zombies are gonna start throwing their own arms and shit at Sketty when he's on the ground. Jaquan got chopped up worse than a recent Eminem song. Even Grief can't escape the choppy flow. Another failed attempt to grief Haiti. He's basically his kryptonite right now. Makes sense. He's kinda like Superman, only with an L on his chest. Well, I guess the cat is out of the bag now. Seriously, what the hell was that? 180 snap aim onto a guy that's dead on the second story of a building. At least he went down afterwards, so there's a little justice. Agontis is either gonna be jealous or horny seeing all these revives. Just barely missed him. Seriously, if he had jumped any further, he'd be setting Olympic records. He practically double jumped. Public Zoms trying to earn back the rights to his name. Tricky Shot screen shaking. It's like comfort food for us here on Top Griefs. Sketty makes a wrong turn. Jaquan looks the wrong way. And he just does everything wrong here. Pi giving him enough shots to vaccinate India, and Haiti just shrugs it off with a couple pistol bullets. Must have been shooting blanks like Alec Baldwin. This is how a gun is supposed to operate when someone walks in front of it. See, even Pi wants DLN to lose, and he's on his team. I Can't Grief You is getting mauled like a cougar. A real cougar, not Grumpy Bit. He was finally about to get his big revenge grief on Haiti, and the zombies just run past him. Brutal. Well, maybe he meted him to pad his revive stats. That's some insult to injury. He waits to reload before taking the max ammo right in front of him, and then griefs him for good measure. How's he expect to grief anybody when he's losing knife fights against the AI? That zombie is gonna open next week's Top Griefs. Yet another failed grief. He's having about as much luck as trying to jerk off a grizzly bear. That cliff has claimed many lives over these past 9 years. Haiti refused to be another statistic. Glassjaw Haiti absorbed those one-punch powers from his last time on Community Highlights, and now he's using them on DLN. All those moves, and he dies to that little bit of fire. It's like being burned alive by a heating pad. Well, he's either using aim lock, or he's transcended time and space and is able to snap aim at a 90-degree turn onto a person that was beside him just by pure instinct. Forget Tricky Shot. He should be doing 1v1s against Beerus. Jesus, that looked violent. He went full Tricky Shot and screen shaked while dying. Either that or it's one of those bizarre TikTok dances. Custom with some nice moves for this one zombie. He's feeling himself like a priest at a daycare center. Tricky Shot with a big grief of his own. Sketty is also here. He's like the appendix of this game. He's kinda just there, and we're not sure what he does. I Can't Grief You puts a crazy grief on Headstump. No double tap camping. DLN just wants an honest, legit, by the rules game of grief. Can you blame him? There's too much cheating on Black Ops 2, and he just wants to see it cleaned up. Even when Tricky Shot tries griefing Haiti, he ends up griefing a completely different guy instead, and dies for it. It's not meant to be. teabagging and killing zombies. Man can multitask. Sketty just casually walks by this Rhino Gun 64 level stair block by DLN. The neck strength it must take to do that, wow. That zombie must be on that New Japan Pro Wrestling workout plan. Haiti and I can't grief you involved in a heavyweight slugfest. That went on longer than a Randy Orton headlock. DLN trying to put Sketty out of a job, taking the window from him. Custom Zombs has Tricky Shot dead to rights at the door. No jug, and he just lets him through. He may be too polite for this game. He's playing grief like he's online at a Minnesota grocery store. Custom Zombs get stuck, and then they start scissoring for some reason. The urge can strike at any moment, I guess. Is this for real? Like, is this really happening? While DLN uses aim lock, we might need to check this guy for revive lock. He's feeling pretty cocky after that grief. I'm sure this flexing won't lead to embarrassment. Not sure why he was flexing anyways. He's got as much tensile strength as nut hair and cobwebs. Looks like one of those pink lawn flamingos. His aimbot keeps pulling onto a player that's already dead. Did he buy it from a Chinese flea market or something? Needs some recalibration. Tricky Shot with the Chronic Fear-esque move of walking backwards into a zombie while shooting. Hey, he was briefly #1 on the farm leaderboards. Tricky Shot could only be so lucky to be compared to such a legend. I mean, this one time, it took us 6 whole rounds to beat Chronic Fear. So he prones his own teammate. This is bad. But then he escapes the enemy prone. This is good. Then he one zombies himself. This is bad, man. DLN with the self-burn. I don't even need to say anything. These guys roast themselves. And Tricky Shot buys Jug. Am I having deja vu? I feel like this happened already. You know the game doesn't like you when you somehow manage to die in the Jug glitch corner. One guess who griefed Tricky Shot right there. Yep. The Jug machine has taken a beating from Tricky Shot this game. I think he's punched it more times than actual people. He finally gets his big grief on Haiti. That must have felt better than a nun having her first orgasm. Head stump knocks this guy down like a bowling pin. What's he got, an infrared scope on that thing? Hitting these guys across the map through fog? He missed 2 point-blank punches. He's got a left hook like current Muhammad Ali. This guy can barely get off the ground right now. This is some Wright Brothers type of shit. DLN dies trying to snake. Might as well just no-clip into the sky at this point. He's got no shame left. Haiti is more dedicated to that corner than a Taiwan hooker. Let's also take note of this all-time grenade trick shot. We're just trying to have a game of grief, and he's out here playing bank shot billiards. Head Stump is swinging on everybody. Get him in the ring with Jake Paul. I Can't Grief You pays homage to DLN with these knife lunges. So, I Can't Grief You dies to the nuke zombies, but Custom Zombs survives them. I guess that hazmat suit ain't just for looks. The rotation on that revive looked like when the old ladies spin on Wheel of Fortune. He's griefing the other team, he's griefing himself, he's unstoppable right now. Nice grief, he's starting to heat up like the polar ice caps. He's beating up that jug machine like it was wearing a turban into an airport. The man seriously got stuck on a trash can. Maybe the universe isn't just random chaos after all. I wonder how Sketty feels about getting griefed by aim lock. I bet that made him feel a little better. Is that the zombie from the end of the Halloween montage? I may have inadvertently started a revolution. Like a game of dominoes, Haiti punches DLN and it knocks him into his own teammate. Well, it took 3 lunges, but he finally got him. Tricky Shot takes what appears to be a one-hit down. Let's explain this phenomenon. A lot of people think this is just a random glitch, but it's actually not. If you take damage and then walk through the small cracks of fire, it chains the damage you just took together, preventing a health regen. But the fire cracks do so little damage, it's not enough to trigger a red screen. So it's got you walking around just under the threshold of dying without knowing it. Head Stump trades his life for MP5 ammo. I guess that's better than trying to trade a claymore for it. Custom Zombs lays down on Tricky Shot. Don't let DLN see that. He's got a natural shooting motion the same way Draymond Green does. He ran into the back of a walker. This guy is a legend in grief, the same way everyone in porn is referred to as a star. Ranked Zombs with the grief and escape. Couple more like that and he'll be World League Zombs. And Tricky Shot puts down Haiti to end the game. That's what we call long-term storytelling. You gotta build up to it. Pi with his 44th revive of the game. Now I understand why Sketty and Haiti were guarding the perk machine earlier. They didn't want this guy buying it. I can't grief you with the murder-suicide. It's looking like the last days in Hitler's bunker on these stairs. And unfortunately, that means the team with DLN on it wins. This is a worse ending than Game of Thrones. So let's tally up the stats. 44 revives, 8 DLN lunges into players, and a combined 95 downs. These boys drank enough cola this game to develop diabetes.